Hi guys, this is Captain Anis Kotia, PADI specialty instructor, IDC staff member, master scuba diver trainer, and EFR instructor. Today we're going to talk a bit about open water, the open water diver course from PADI. So, what does open water entail? Well, open water is often somebody's first serious encounter with scuba diving. Sometimes I find I meet people in Jeddah who have been on an open water course, and they say, "Yeah, I went on a quick course when I went on holidays to the Seychelles or to Greece or somewhere like that, and it's been a while." And I often ask them, I say, "How was the course? Did you enjoy it?" And then they will say, "Yes, it was great," but I don't remember a lot because it was over very quickly. They'll say something like, the trainer he finished in 2 days, and we did a couple of dives, and then I'll say, do you have your PADI certificate with you still, or your card or something? And then they'll say, yeah, I'm not sure, and then I'll go and find out from PADI. So that's normal, that's typical. But actually, it's doing a bit of an injustice to PADI if somebody finishes the open water in 2 days, because there are certain limits when it comes to diving each day. PADI themselves tell you not to do more than 3 dives in a day. There is leniency for training dives, but generally speaking, you don't do more than 3 dives in a day. And from experience, I know open water takes a bit of dedication and commitment. So, what does it entail? Well, open water, there's a lot of discovery going on in open water. From when you first put on your scuba equipment and you first do your knowledge review segments and you start to read about scuba diving, everything is a discovery and everything is exciting. So, as with any course, there are certain certification requirements which you must do in order to be qualified. However, with the right instructor, it's easily achievable, and you also become a very proficient diver with that instructor. So, you have 5 knowledge review segments, you have an exam, you have some confined water dives. What are confined water dives? Well, confined water dives are in a swimming pool. So we find a clean, suitable swimming pool, and I would show you how to put your scuba equipment on. I would do discovery with you first anyway, make sure you're comfortable with the whole situation, and then make sure your suit, your dry exposure suit, which is usually semi-dry or wetsuit, is suitable for you. Make sure you have the right equipment, right BCD, which is your buoyancy control device, the right regulator, the right mask, the right fins, the right boots. So there's a lot of effort that goes in from both of our parts. And once you started to do your dive in the swimming pool, then we would end up doing 5 dives in which you learn the basic skills from how to just navigate in the water to how to actually, at the end, what you'll be doing is how to actually take off your scuba suit in the water, put it back on again. So there's a lot of skills which you will learn, and they're very, very good, unique skills. After you've done your confined water dives, you do your what we call open water dives. So open water dives are in the sea. So there are certain resorts in Jeddah where I take people. There is Bahadur, which is in north of Ubhar. Then there is La Plage, which is also in the north of Ubhar. There are other places too. And there's a little bit of information here about the depths of each dive. So this is in the sea now. Open water dives 1 and 2 up to 12 meters. Open water dives 3 and 4 up to 18 meters. Why? By the end of open water, you should be able to dive to 80 meters, which is 60 feet. And if you see my other videos, this is where advanced open water takes off from. So where open water finishes, then advanced takes over. Yeah. And you can see here, Paddy says when conducting 3 dives in one day, the maximum depth for the last dive is 12 meters. So they're saying 3 maximum as well. Okay. Excursion dives taken from dive 3. So this is saying that if you want to start to go on recreational dives, then you should do that from dive number 3, which is up to 12 meters. So that's just as a guideline for you. Okay, then you have something here around the minimum age required. Then you have equipment required. So all the main equipment is in the previous section of the book. And here you start to get some specific equipment for you as an individual. So it's this is from I should ensure I have with me these items in order to teach you. So I should have a compass if I'm going to teach you how to use the compass. I should have the inflatable tube, or what they call DSMB, if it's for the flexible skills. Okay. Then excursion dives. So this is like saying, um, once you have started to do your course and you get through dive number 3, then you can do excursion dives. So these count towards your allowance of 3 training dives allowed per day. Yeah. Then you have a section on the forms required. Then you have some recommendations here for forms. Then you have material required. Then you have here requirements from your perspective that you must view the PADI Open Water video, and you need to have these items as well. A PADI skill practice and dive planning slate, which I can give you, and also you have the RDP or ERDP ML dive table, which I discussed in another video. RDP being recreational dive planner, and ERDP ML meaning electronic recreational dive planner multi-level. Then it tells you about the ratios required for the dives, and PADI always advises never go beyond the ratios. Then you have something here around being referred. So sometimes people are referred from another course, which is fine, and there is a minimum entry requirement required. And then this is for me. I shouldn't leave any students unattended ever. And something here now about the water skills. So here on the water skills side, there is you need to be able to improve your water skills at some point during this course. So, for example, you need to be able to swim a 10-minute for 10 minutes on the water surface, either swim or float, without using swimming aids. So again, this is something I will do with you to help you pick up the skills and the experience for this and the strength and stamina. At some point, you need to be able to do a 200-meter continuous surface swim or 300-meter swim with the mask. Yeah, with the mask, fins, and snorkel. Then the next section, it talks about the knowledge development. Okay, and the next section talks about confined water. What do you do in each confined water dive? You have all the information here. Okay, you have flexible skills coming over here. Uh, Flexible skills, don't misunderstand that they're not important. They're very important in order to build your stamina in the water and in the sea. So there's a vertical dive here. There is a proper ascent, clearing, and breathing from a snorkel. You have a number of skills here. There is equipment preparation and care, talking about the assembly and disassembly of equipment. Okay. And you have some more flexible skills here. Loosening the cylinder band, weight removal and replacement on the surface. Then by the end of confined dive water 3, for PADI scuba divers, you need to be able to do this skill, weight removal and replacement. Or by the end of confined water dive number 5 for all student divers. Because basically it's saying you have to do it if you're doing the PADI scuba diver or PADI open water. So what's the difference between PADI scuba diver and PADI open water? PADI scuba diver is actually, it's almost like half of the open water. In a similar way to how I explained for advanced open water, that adventure diver is like half of advanced open water. Here, a scuba diver itself is a mini course within open water, and it's three dives. You do 3 dives in confined water, 2 dives in open water to be a PADI scuba diver. But if you are doing the full open water, then you will do 5 dives in the swimming pool and 4 dives in the sea. So it's saying here that this particular flexible skill needs to be done before you finish uh, a scuba diver, if that's what you're doing, and before you finish open water, if that's what you're doing. Then you have the emergency weight drop, which is straightforward. Then you have dive number 1, performance requirements, dive number 2, performance requirements. and it gets progressively slightly more challenging. You have underwater skills on the surface skills, then dive number 3. Then you have dive number 4, dive number 5. By the end of dive number 5, you will have become very, very proficient. So then you have here some more like requirements for me than yourself. Okay, but this is reminding you about knowledge development and some scenarios to do in different dives. So this is really good for your practice actually. This is now the flexible skills here, all mentioned: tie, dive, toe, ground police, etc., etc. Removing and replacing the weight system, like I mentioned earlier. Emergency weight drop, like I mentioned earlier. Then you have compass navigation, which is a key skill, which I discussed in the other video. And we have Caesar, which is one of my favorites, a controlled emergency swimming ascent. That's Caesar. There's more detail on how to do Caesar. Then you have the performance requirements now for dive number 1, dive number 2, dive number 3, here it is, and dive number 4 there. So these 4 dives are in the open water. The previous dives in confined water were in the swimming pool. So these 4 dives are in the open water in the sea. So hopefully that gives you some information about what's involved in open water. Open water at first seems a little bit challenging, but with a bit of coaching and support from a good instructor like yours truly, I'm sure you will ace it and you will do very well. I always say give yourself 5 days for open water. One day, assume one day for the studying, the e-learning, which you won't have to do in one day, but you spread it over a number of days. So think of it as one day or one thing to do. Then you have confined water in which you have to do 5 dives. So do 2 dives one day, 3 dives another day. So that's 2 days. Then you have to do 4 open water dives in the sea. So I would say do 2 dives in one day, 2 dives in another day. And that's how you do your open water course. So I hope you enjoyed that, and do contact me if you have any questions, and hope to see you soon. Thank you. Till next time, safe diving.